So this was my chart trading setup today. I had a 60-minute chart and a 1-minute chart. That's it, just 2 charts. Instead of doing the live recording and having to edit everything, I'm going to try out doing these review videos. I've got some playback data loaded from today. That way all the key levels are accurate. I've got it loaded up to 4 p.m. from the close of today's session. Here's our opening candle. We pop down, and then we pop back up right to yesterday's value area high, where I did get a short from. I was waiting for price to reach this area. We dropped back down over 100 points. So let me just show you some of the setups today. I'm going to blow up this 1-minute chart, make it a little bit bigger. So in pre-market, we had a bunch of delta waves to the downside. I've got the XXX painting the background red and green or transparent. The background is based on the MA wave feature on the XXX indicator. I've got some new settings on the XXX indicator as well, just to better reflect the moving averages that are usually on my charts. So here's the XXX indicator. I've got it in single MA mode. I've got the MA wave painting the background. I've got the signal dots on. And then my settings. I've changed all of the moving averages to SMA. They're all SMA now. Slow is 20, middle is 9, and the fast is 3. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm a huge fan of the 20 SMA. So I just changed those settings to more reflect the moving averages on my chart. From 9 to 10, we only got one triple moving average crossover signal on the XXX. This red dot right here. Taking a break lower would have been a good entry. We had a close below the 20. Background was red. We made it down to the bottom of the 15-minute opening range, closed below, and then drifted lower down to the overnight open and yesterday's close. And that line held tough. That ended up being the low right there, orange line. So first candle of the New York Open, we got some strong negative delta. Got a delta diamond. Also had a delta wave to the downside. Background was already red. Didn't have anything in our way as far as key levels until yesterday's close down here. This low of the 15-minute opening range doesn't form until 9:45. We did pop down 8 or 9 points. Started getting some conflicting signals, some delta waves to the upside. Delta was drying up. Started getting these wicking candles with tiny little bodies. Then we get another delta wave to the upside. Some more delta coming in to the upside. We start drifting up. The background turns transparent. At this point, it's a Monday. I was still just watching the markets, waiting to see what it wants to do. Keeping an eye on everything that's going on as we're coming up to the 20 SMA. We blew right through it. We had a bunch of positive delta. At this point, I'm thinking it might be some exhaustion. My first trade of the day was a short off of the VWAP. We came right up to the VWAP. Had a nice bounce down. Just got a little bounce down off of VWAP. We bounced down a lot more than I held on for. Bounced down over 30 points in a minute or so. So you see we've got the strong green candles and we have the background finally turned green. But I always wait for confirmation. I'm not just taking a signal because it prints. So I'm looking for a break above this potential entry candle when the background first turns green. But I'm also making sure that there's no key levels in my way. I want to have plenty of room to have a nice take profit level. And here we are below VWAP. I'd want price to break above this potential entry candle and also above VWAP. We never get that break. No trade triggered there. When we go back into the red background, we get the triple moving average crossover signal. We start getting the delta coming in to the downside. We push back down to yesterday's close. Now while we're down here, you see all these delta waves building up to the upside while price is just moving in this tiny little range. In the background, delta is building up. Got all these delta waves to the upside, delta diamonds to the upside. The background stops printing red. We get a nice close above the 20 SMA. We got delta waves to the upside. We got delta diamonds. Background turns green. We got these strong dark green candles. These candles are being painted by a new indicator that's coming out soon. It's based on Heikin-Ashi logic. The dark green and the dark red are when the Heiken Ashi candles are printing flat butt candles. But I've got the flat butt Heiken Ashi represented as these colors, the dark red and dark green, so I can still see the regular candlesticks. But I know when the Heiken Ashi goes into flat butt mode, aka no wick on the bottom or no wick on the top for a Heiken Ashi candle. So this whole time I'm still not in another trade. My next trade I took was the break above VWAP. I saw us approaching VWAP for the second time, and on the second approach we've got even more strong bullish delta wave to the upside. We've already been in an uptrend for the MA wave for a while. So as soon as we broke above the VWAP, I got into a long. I just got another super tiny scalp. We broke above VWAP here. Once again, I should have held a little bit longer. Got the full 10 points. And then for some reason, I decided to start trading some micros, but I should have not started trading the micros. I've got bad habits when I trade the micros, personally. When I trade the micros, I start trading like a total jackass. I don't worry about getting the best fills. I just throw all my discipline out the window, pretty much, when I'm trading the micros. And I gave back all my profits because I shorted at the pivot point, and then instead of noticing everything that my chart is telling me and paying attention to all the indicators that I built, I decided to throw all logic out the window, and I added in a couple times on the micros. Even though we got our second triple moving average crossover signal of the day with the new settings on the XXX indicator right here. Green background, candles start going dark green. We're getting all this positive delta coming in, all these delta diamonds, all these delta waves. Everything was pointing to the upside. Until up here, we started getting some negative delta coming in. The candles stopped printing dark green. We got a little bit of a retracement there. So I gave back all my profits from the morning and then some. So then I wanted to stick around and trade, try to get back into profit. And the price action for the next hour was just terrible. However, I managed to get a couple more trades in, and I ended up with some small profit. Pretty pathetic because I was up about $1,000 earlier in the morning. I ended up getting into another short. Now I'm slightly positive for the day. This is after commissions. We had a bunch of delta diamonds coming in, some delta waves to the downside, neutral background, closed below the 20. Started getting flat butt Heiken Ashis signified by this dark red candle. Then we just started tanking. Had some really strong delta coming in here on this candle. So I'm just going to be really extra careful if I trade the micros ever again. If I'm going to trade the micros, I need to trade them just like I trade the regular NQ, just for the sake of my own sanity and for the sake of discipline and for the sake of not creating bad trading habits. But yeah, early in the morning, we had a bunch of very clear moves, some easy trades, lots of opportunities. I really like this current chart setup that I have with the ultimate delta, the XXX, got the key levels, and the new Heiken Ashi indicator, which will be released at some point in the near future. Still working out a few bugs. There's links to all the indicators that I'm using in the description. There's also links to all the prop firms that I'm trading with. If you're enjoying these videos and want to help support the channel, if you go into the description of this video, you can see all the coupon codes you can use at the various prop firms. I think I might be giving up on Bulenox. I really don't like a lot of their new rules. I don't like the inactivity rule, which I knew was already there, but I really don't like having to trade once every 5 days. I like the opportunity to be able to take a vacation if I want. I don't like their rule about copy trading across other prop firms. Even though I have not actually copy traded with the Bulenox account, I've always traded that separately. I just don't like that rule. I also wish Bulenox used Tradeovate, and I also don't like the consistent position sizing, which if they're a little bit flexible on, it's okay. You know, if I can trade one mini one day and a couple minis the next day, then I'm okay with it. But if they're going to be really strict about that, that's something I'm not really interested in. I'm going to keep my funded account with them. I'm going to keep trading it, but I don't think I'm going to get any more accounts with Bulenox for the time being. There's just a lot of other great opportunities out there. I'm really excited to try out The futures desk, I don't know if anyone else has seen the interviews that the CEO has been putting out lately, but the futures desk looks very exciting. You can create your own account type, your own account size, your own account price. So I'm definitely going to check them out. I hope you got some good ideas for your own trading. Hitting that like button is always greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.